Chapter 19 Unspoken Story 3:27. He touches me and steals all my breaths. His fingers wipe the air from my lungs, and his tenderness destroys my will to breathe again. In those moments where I'm suffocating on his love and gasping for breath, he wields his lips like a weapon, depleting all my resistance as he trails kisses over my trembling skin. Drifting toward non-existence, I clutch the material of his shirt in my hands. He takes my plea, and just before I expire, gently presses his mouth to mine, breathing life back into me and expelling all his sorry into my body. "I'm sorry," he says as he pulls me closer. "Forgive me," he pleads as he laces his fingers through my damp hair and places a soft peck on my temple. His lips linger as if whispering to my mind, begging for this moment. "Please," resonates through the silence, hooking my stomach and yanking all the butterflies to the surface. They flutter in my throat on broken wings, urging me to speak up, but instead, I cup his cheek in one hand, and with the other I design my approval on his skin, tracing the letters of my real name over the thin material. The lack of words should be evidence, proof of his ability to annihilate every wrong he has ever committed. He is a mob boss who kidnapped me, and I'm his victim. I should scream for help and pound against the surfaces, but I'm locked in place by the past we share. His lips on mine are not pillows or heaven, not soft or kind, but consuming. Breath, will, resignation, all easily convert to passion at his wordless command. No words, just strangled breaths between kisses. My lips quake from the force, and my knees bend as he relentlessly draws my nothings from the depths of my soul and makes me something, his. But I want more. Being stuck in that bathroom, waiting for him to come to me again, made me realize I want words, not actions, and spoken truths instead of lies. Every time we had been together, we were never he and I. We hid ourselves behind 7 layers of skin, allowing surfaces to touch, but never hearts. No, not those, because we were afraid. What we didn't know is that in those moments of passion, where our bodies spoke for us, they said too much. At some point, touches turned to words and kisses to sentences. He spoke paragraphs between breaths, and before I knew it, he had written chapters on my skin. Invisible tattoos with permanent ink seep into muscles and create stories with movement. Beautiful, unforgettable stories, which only serve to bind me to the past and will me to forget his words and my wrong choices. Here, choices have no place between us, and in the darkness that is Breaker, I'm clouded in this strange form of love. Uncertainty wiggles its way to the surface, manifesting in brief seconds of hesitation and the pause of my hands. His eyes bore into mine, plowing deep into my irises and digging their way deeper. In the intensity, I memorized the shape of those almond eyes, the slight flare of his nostrils, and the hardened symmetry of his perfect jaw. We're standing in the room with plenty of space, but he traps me in his orbit, forbidding me to blink. I gravitate toward him, lulled by a false sense of security. A stoic Breaker is dangerous, but he stands before me, anger rippling off his shoulders and lashing out at me without touch. He diminishes the space with his aura, making it feel like we are trapped within a small elevator, or a small room like the one at the farm. At this exact moment, he's devastating, utter peril to my resolve. Yet I'm afraid to blink Breaker away. This Breaker, vulnerable and insecure with no facade or filter, rummages my face for an answer to why I stopped. Stopped the something, as it could ever be more than this prison. My eyes strain at the weight of my eyelids grows heavier. I have no choice but to shut my eyes and open them to reality. Different place, but the same captor. Too bad it's a different identity, with the same heart,